Did we reach?
I told you we shouldn't have let Tanvi drive.
Where are we, Soumya?
Welcome to Europe in the 1850s to 1890s. Napoleon's defeat led to the establishment of the Republic in France. The process of unification was under the way in many European countries. In many regions, the dissatisfied public began protest against their oppressive rulers. While some countries were recovering from the ravages of war, the process of industrialization was on its way. Rapid technological advancement led to rapid development and the rise of middle class who soon began to demand greater representation. In the midst of this, certain art movements were on the rise, such as realism.
Realism art movement was first coined during the 1850s when artists like Gustave Courbet wanted to protest against the exaggerated and rose-tinted world of romanticism and would rather showcase contemporary subjects and themes in a raw and real way. Let's consider The Gleaners by Jean-François Millet to further understand the visual language in regards to realism art movement. Realistic artists mainly used earthly color palettes, following a theme that represents everyday activities of the middle and lower class, incorporating multiple human figures with a sense of rhythm and repetition to create emphasis on the topic. There is also a sense of balance in the painting, evident through its linear composition and eye movement, starting from the center, then towards the background, and finally towards the foreground. There is no use of sharp lines and with a lot of smudges, so that it's easy for the spectator to view and understand its meaning to the core. Lighting and color combination also plays a huge role in creating emphasis on the three main human figures that spotlights their clothing, head face downwards, and back-breaking body postures. Apart from the paintings, literary artists also started talking about sex more openly into the society as a part of the realism movement. This literary culture later found representation in artworks like The Luncheon on the Grass by Edward Manet.
While realists focus mainly on the details of their subject matter, a group of artists such as Edgar Degas and Pierre Auguste Renoir wanted to capture the most fleeting aspect of nature, the changing in the light of the sun. While still following the realistic theme of providing greater representation to the contemporary struggles. These impressionists use realistic color palette, oil paints, and tiny strokes to effectively capture the effect of light and shadows, focusing on the perspective and rhythm of a given scene. However, the rise of photography in the 1850s forced the artists to find other areas of creativity than lifelike portrayal. This encouraged artists like Paul Cézanne to find other ways for a more abstract representation, while others like George Seurat developed a more scientific technique for the representation of light called pointillism. Seurat was not the only one interested in science. This growing interest in science and technology among the people also found its way in the realm of architecture.
The Industrial Revolution introduced new materials like glass, steel, and iron into the society. These new materials were incorporated in the construction of various structures which followed the popular architectural styles, like the Neoclassicism style that inspired the Austrian Parliament, the Renaissance art style that inspired the Hungarian State Opera House, and the New Gothic art style that inspired the votive church. This was caused by the establishment of the republics in 1848, as there was a growing feeling of patriotism among the people. Everyone wanted to prove that their country was superior. This resulted in rulers borrowing architectural styles from neighboring countries and decorating the interiors with their sculptures and paintings of their own local artists and their achievements. They also sent their artists in competitions to prove their superiority. One such competition took place at the Crystal Palace during the Great Exhibition in 1851.
Great Exhibition 1851 was ornate, artificial, and ignored the qualities of the material used, which gave birth to the art and craft movement. It was a social and artistic movement which started in 1862, emphasizing a return to hard work, skilled craftsmanship, and attention to design in the decorative art, from the mechanization and mass production of the Industrial Revolution. Since this art was promoting economic and social reform and was anti-industrial, it gained popularity among the working classes. This was due to the growing fear in society about lifestyle change introduced by the technological revolution. Talking about William Morris, he was the central figure in the art and craft movement and one of the most important and influential designer in the British history. And his objective was to find the balance between color and variety on one hand and structure.
So now let's go through some of his artworks. Trellis. The trellis pattern was inspired by Morris roses growing up on trellis in the garden of the Red House. In comparison with his wallpaper designs of the 1870s, the trellis was simple and more inexpensive to produce. Now let's make some connections. In this wallpaper, we see the use of line, dots, and shapes along with some subtle colors and textures. We also see movement, emphasis, and rhythm in the same. Talking about the Red House intent was designed to reflect Morris theories and was made to recall the Gothic style. It was the first house that was built according to the principles of fine artistry and utility that became the hallmark of the design firm Morris founded with Webb in 1861, as well as the emerging art and craft movement.
While the UK was booming with the new crafts movement, Kangwana Trade Treaty was signed between UK and Japan, which brought in a new art culture called Japonism. European artists admired the Japanese printing styles and adopted their expressions, leading to the rise of Japonism. Artists like Claude Monet and Toulouse-Lautrec used Japanese color schemes, which is using complementary color schemes similar to that of the Japanese styles. Sidney Jones carried forward the ideas of Japonism through its theatrical performances. The theatre clubs started using the idea of Japanese settings and themes in their shows. The Japanese architecture, woodblock printing, and ceramics also got widely popular among the public of Europe. Europe started importing kimonos, the national dress of Japan. These items became widely popular amongst the public to their desire for a change. This is how Japonism got incorporated in Europe in the late 19th century.
The observations derived from a study of Europe during the 1850 to 1890s helps us deduce that the European art culture was truly going through a remarkable transformation. The visual language of all the artworks had a sense of balance, emphasis, and rhythm incorporated in them, along with the use of specific color scheme. The socio-political, economic factors were the major influencing factors that brought changes in the art styles, people's thinking pattern, ideologies, societal norms, and structures in Europe. Europeans had deepest gratitude and appreciation for their art and design culture instead of modernization and technological advancement going on in the society. There was a beautiful exchange of cultures and artistic styles throughout Europe, evident in the visual and material culture like paintings, photography, architecture, and more.